the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The Reloptix.com Beef Jerky Unlimited Turn 5 Motorsports drivers will fire things off back inside the open wheel machines once again. That's right, the USF 2000s right here from Gateway. This 1.25 mile little oblong racetrack gonna put on quite a show, I can assure you that. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Qualifying already underway, so we'll take a moment to look at some of the track information. That you can see track temperature under 90 degrees, so a lot of grip for these machines, and it's going to be tough to get the heat in the tires in these the first lap of qualifying, but we'll see who lays down the fast time. Speaking of fast times, why don't we jump right into it, get right to it over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Rule Than sitting top of the speed charts. Quick time here in qualifying belongs to that 60 machine, a 33-37, snatching the provisional pole. For the moment, a handful of drivers yet to put in their time lap. Steve Law, Frenchie Gutman, John Sayre. How about newcomer Richard Van Have? He's out here in the double O machine, the double knot. Gonna look to have a fine showing for his debut race. Andy also out there on track in the 34 machine. We'll wait to see what kind of qualifying lap he can lay down. Only 7 drivers turning in a time so far. And interesting enough to see just a handful of drivers putting in those time laps so far. And there you go, nice beautiful scenery looking over at the Gateway Arch, an absolutely amazing backdrop for an amazing open wheel race here tonight. And as that music has faded away and into the background, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a clearer picture at who's going to walk away with the pole position here tonight. Roll Fan still top of the speed charts, 33:37 is the fast time here in qualifying. Looks to be 8 drivers now with a qualifying lap. John Sayer in that 369 machine. He's out there on the track. Tui here out there turning in his fast times. We'll see where he can slot in. Rolling back down pit lane, that's John Sayer. His qualifying attempt is going to be over with. Good enough for 8th on the speed charts. Handful of drivers still yet to put in a qualifying time, and with just about 30 seconds remaining, it doesn't look to seem like anybody's going to be able to dethrone Than at the top of the speed charts. Quick time will be a 33:37 here in qualifying, and Roll Than will walk away with the provisional pole. So with that being said, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, then head trackside for your national anthem. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Head back trackside after the flyover, ready to roll here tonight from Gateway. 70 laps, the official scheduled distance here tonight. These Turn 5 Motorsports drivers, and as they begin to hit the starting grid, we'll jump a little closer to the field. What do you say? There you can see them all beginning to make their way to the starting grid, and the bells will begin to ring in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup here from Gateway with the Reloptix.com Beef Jerky Unlimited Turn 5 Motorsports drivers, starting inside row number 1, snatching that pole position with a quick time 33.73 in qualifying. You're gonna roll off inside in that 60 roll fan. Sheldon fitting in the 41 machine just to his outside with Slick Brick and Robert Doing outside row number 2. Back in row number 3 here in tonight, 76 of Mark Axelson. And just to his outside, the 113 of Paul Dillon. Ethan Wilson and John Sayre are going to round out row number 4. Row number 5 here tonight from Worldwide Technology Raceway inside of that 34. Andy. The man just to his outside, not just because he's from Canada. I'm just joking. French-Canadian, it's Frenchy in the 46. Steve Law and Gutman back in 12th position. Rounding out the field here tonight will be Richard Vanderhave. Vanderhave still on pit road. Unfortunate circumstances for him. We'll have to make sure he gets his engine fired up. And as the pace car ducks away, music fades away, and we'll jump on the gas for the first time here tonight. Green flag flies here at Gateway. Oh, and trouble in the back. We got problems already. Caution flag gonna fly. Ethan Wilson with trouble on the start. Trouble on the start. Ethan Wilson going to get spun around and collect a handful of drivers right here at the green flag. So I tell you what, we're going to just go ahead right back to the restart. Take a look at the rear of the field. A little bit of a checkup inside line. Starts to move down to the bottom, and they run out of room. And that is going to be all she wrote. Let's take one more look at that. Once again, there you can see inside lane stacking up 14 with a little bit of front end damage, and there it goes stacking up from there. More drivers around and into each other, and that's going to spell an end to a handful of drivers night early here. They're going to have to burn that fast fix. So already 3 drivers on pit road. Going to restart from the tail end of the field. And well, we'll have I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and just hit the reset button real fast. Go ahead and let's redo this, guys. What do you say? What do you say? So a stack up on the inside lane on the initial start of the race. The 14 is going to get into the back of the 60 and pile up from there down on the inside lane. A lot of drivers getting caught up and involved in that one. Looks to be at least 3 to 4 drivers caught up and involved and already on pit road, burning one of those fast fixes. And unfortunately, Mark Axelson and Andy, both of those drivers going to fall one lap down early here tonight with trouble coming to take the green flag. Those two drivers going to be stuck on pit road after towing the machines. They'll get the car fixed up and back out on track, but already down multiple laps very early here tonight. They're going to need at least 1 or 2 more cautions to try to get themselves back onto the lead lap and back into contention. So just something these drivers are going to have to watch out for. They're going to have to watch out for the tire spin. If you jump on the gas a little bit earlier, anticipating the green flag dropping, you may have to check up, and when you check up, you get a stack up. As the field makes their way off of turn 4 back behind the iRacing pace car, we should see the one finger wave this time around as the field heads back towards turn number 1. We're going to get one more lap around behind the pace car before we see the 1 to go. Race officials making sure all the debris cleared up on the front stretch before we release these unrelenting fast open wheel machines, these USF 2000s, the Pro Mazda 17s. Basically, if they're basically the Pro Mazda machines just dialed down just a little bit, but these open wheel machines still pretty primitive. We'll take a look inside of the cockpit here in just a moment, or I tell you what, why don't we go ahead down? I believe we have an onboard cockpit camera with this 14 machine. One of the drivers that was caught up and involved in there, you can see pretty primitive machine, just about a few generations in front of that Lotus 79 machine that we'll see on Friday nights right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I tell you what, keep your stomachs empty and ready for some snacks, because you can head right on down into the description, find the link over there to beefjerkyunlimited.com, get yourself a 15% discount code on checkout. Some great recipes and great beef jerky over there at beefjerkyunlimited.com. So a big shout out to Tommy D and everybody over there at Beef Jerky Unlimited. And you know you want some, and you know it's the one of the go-to snacks of pretty much any blue-collar working man. You can find some great recipes, different styles of meat as well. It's not all about being teriyaki and stuff like that. You're typical. They've got multiple different spices and flavors. Check them all out over there at beefjerkyunlimited.com. Don't forget about that discount code. Turn 5, all capital on the discount code. Who knows, throw a little bit extra in there. Get that discount, bring it right back to the amount you're going to spend, and we're going to get ready to send that pace car back down pit road and fire things off once again. Gonna hit the reset button here from Gateway. Into the restart zone we roll. Wait for it on the gas, and green flag flies. Once again here from Gateway. Everybody clean and clear up through the gears this time. No problems throughout the field. Sheldon Fittick gonna stay on the high side and keep that second position for the time being. Paul Dillon down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Whoa, and a big slide up for Rolf Fan, and he's going to get into the outside wall. Sheldon Fittick going to take over that second position now with Slick Rick and Frenchie going at it. The 46 of Frenchie trying to make something work on the high side. Look at these guys going at it side by side through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now they go 3 wide through turn 3. And if you didn't think these drivers weren't going to be on it, think again. Here we go, battling back down the front stretch and back into turn number 114 of Slick Rick trying to make up some room, trying to make up some ground here. Rolf Fan, a little bit of a slide again through the center of 1 and 2, in trouble for Than. And as we work ourselves down the backstretch on lap number 7, we'll drop that Tommy and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along just like we do right here in the booth. Battle side by side for second position. Frenchie and Fiddick going at it, and it looks like the 369. I believe that is the 369 of John Sayre. Yes, it is. Way down there on the bottom of the racetrack. A little bit of a moment out of 4, and the 369 still wiggling. Something may be wrong in the front end of that machine. We'll keep an eye on him. But first, let's head a little further back up through the field. Hornet's Nest right here. Watch your step. You might get stung. Here we go. Back down into turn number 3. The 9, the 003 in the 49. All going at it for position. Doing Wilson and Gutman. All going at it right here, trying to gain a spot down there. Big run on the inside for that 003. Gutman looking to take it 3 wide. Will he do it? He'll stay behind, and will stay stacked up 2 by 2, 2 rows deep, right around that 5th position. Top drivers beginning to separate themselves from the field. Just about a 1-second gap back from Rolfan. And Slick Rick right behind him in that 14. Then you got that 1-second gap from Rick back to Wilson. There you can see 2 distinct packs already very early here tonight from Gateway. Lap number 10 now goes on the board with Paul Dillon showing the way. Things single file at the front for the moment, so let's jump back here where the battles are 2 and 3 wide down the backstretch. Gutman, John Sayre, and Robert Doink right there, all going at it. The 9 stuck on the high side, 003 hugging that rumble strip through 3 and 4. He'll grab the position, slide up the racetrack, and get right in the slipstream of that 34 machine. 34 of Andy. He is off of lead lap, but still out there running very well. And I tell you what, let's take a look off of the tail end of that machine. Take a look back there. That is the 003. Gutman trying to make some moves, trying to get around some of the lap traffic here, working hard on the inside lane. Ethan Wilson right there as well. So as these drivers continue to battle, you're going to have to continue to deal with some of the lap traffic here tonight. Both the 003 and the 9 all working their way by. Here comes, I believe that is John Sayre starting to look around. Nope, that's just the 003 of Gutman. We'll jump back outside of the car and back up near the front of the field for a moment. Take a look here, side by side racing action. 76 down there on the bottom of the racetrack as we shift our focus back forward. And Rolfan starting to overcome some adversity after problems in hitting the outside wall there. Coming out of turn number 2, slid back to 5th, making his way back up through the field in a slide job in an Indy car. Oh boy. Cutting right across the nose of that 46 was Rolfan. The 113 trying to make it work down there on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make the pass on the high side. Power move here for Frenchie. What a run out of the corner, and the man that was leading moments ago now finds himself all the way back in 5th. Sheldon Finnegan, the 41, going to take the top spot away. He's going to look to set sail. Finnick's been inside of your top 5 all night long. Qualified second. Fell back to about 4th position at one point in time, but still now running very well inside of that 41 machine. Things going awry on the background with us, but we're gonna push right on through, soldier on as these drivers continue to soldier on at the front of the field. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, Sheldon Fiddick with company to his high side, the 60 of Rolfan right there trying to take the position away. Lap number 16 now going to be underway. Frenchie right behind him trying to make something work Oh, and we got contact. Contact in the back, and we got trouble. We've got trouble on the track. Mark Axelson gonna go for an off-track excursion. Oh, almost into the tail. Oh my gosh. Almost into the tail end there. The 113 almost into the back of Sheldon Fittig. Paul Dillon almost into the back of Fittig, coming out of 3 and 4. Still side by side, working their way out of turn number 2. Rolf Than, your pole sitter, back to the point after a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Than gonna regroup, regather his bearings, and he's gonna set sail now. Half a second advantage, working their way back across the start-finish line. Once again, lap number 18 now gonna go on the board. Fittig sitting in second. Paul Dillon back to third. Slick Rick in fourth, and Fritchie rounding out your top 5. 2.5 seconds back to this battle. That continues to rage on between Ethan Wilson and Steve Law. There you can see those two drivers going at it. 003 of Gutman and John Sayre in the 34 machine. Right behind them, falling to the wayside now, is that number 9. A little bit off pace and losing some track time, losing some track position right now. Ramadan sitting in the 10th spot. Almost into the outside wall is Wilson. Things starting to switch up a little bit at the front of the field, so let's jump back up here once again. Making a move to the inside and grabbing the position. Slick Rick going to move into that 4th spot. Frenchie going to fall right back behind him in 5th. And these two drivers, as they went at it for those 2 laps, they have lost touch with your top 3. Rolf Than, Sheldon Fittig, Paul Dillon, all stepping out now to a 1.5 second advantage. So 3 drivers starting to assert their dominance. Here comes Fittig looking to the inside, down into turn number 3. He'll clear on entry. Will he slide up and take that position away? Looks like he is going to slide up the racetrack and take the position away, complete the pass. Rolf Than trying to get back down to the bottom, not going to get there at the line. Lap led once again by Fittig. Rolf Than now going to look to the inside, try his hand at getting back to the point, and he's going to clear Fittig without a problem. Fittig's going to go side by side with Paul Dillon with a little bit of a tank slap off of turn number 2, and that's going to leave Dillon wanting for a little bit more grip, as he lost a little bit of ground with that tank slap coming out of turn number 2's. Got it headed back into the right direction. How about that move on the front stretch right there by Rolf Than? Going to block off that inside lane for a moment. A little bit of a swerve there down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to keep Fittig on the high side, because you can see definitely working out through 1 and 2 there for Than. But Fittig going to be fast off of turn number 2, keep that momentum wound up and try to take that top spot back away, but the inside lane will prevail. Than going to lead him off of turn 4. Big run here by Fittig going to the bottom. Drag race across the line. Rolf Than going to lead yet another lap, as we've got yet another lead change. Fittig going to drop back down to the bottom, and he's going to take the top spot back once again. So as things begin to sort themselves out back through this field, things still hot and heavy up at the front. These open wheel drivers going at it. The USF 2000 machines right here from Gateway. You know, and I'm looking at Paul Dillon right now, sitting in that 3rd position. If you notice, Paul's not really making any big moves to try to get by either of these 2 drivers. He's just kind of biding his time right here. Just kind of waiting to pick up the pieces, let these 2 guys go at it. Maybe they'll annoy each other. Maybe they force one into a mistake, and Dillon going to be right there to capitalize on the opportunity. If something indeed does happen to your top 2 drivers out there on the racetrack, down to the inside once again goes Than, trying to work the pass, trying to work the inside, and he's going to slide. No, He's not going to slide up off of turn number 2. He's going to keep it down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Fittig going to surge forward down the back stretch, and he'll have a 1-car advantage going down into turn number 3. Than going to even out the score. Pulled even halfway through the center of the corner, and now a big run. Look for the cover off right here, as Than does not move down to the bottom of the racetrack to cover the inside look into turn 1. Fittig going to drop down there. Pulled even through the center of the corner and try to take the race lead this time around. They'll drag race once again down the backstretch here from Gateway. As we get further in the run here, 26 laps on the tires. That inside lane really going to start to show a dominance. Really going to start to be where you want to be. The passes are gonna be far and few in between now. Even with the slipstreams, even with the toe down these long front stretch and back stretches, if you can cover off that inside move, you should be all right. Than going to leave the door open for just a moment. Will Fittig slide up the racetrack? Not going to have enough time to get the car back to the top of the racetrack. Than will pull even. Numbers are all on the bottom, 2 versus 1. Front of the field, the 113 of Paul Dillon looking for a way around now. He's looking a little bit more racy here, as these 3 drivers have absolutely walked away from the rest of the field. Almost a 4.5 second advantage for your top 3 drivers, as everybody single file from there on back. A little bit of a battle now. I believe that is Steve Law and Ethan Wilson going at it. Let's take a look right here at the 49 and the 6 machine. Both of these drivers going at it on the racetrack. And after an early caution on lap number 1, we have been clean and green ever since. These drivers absolutely getting after it and getting up on the wheels. Still side-by-side racing action here between Steve Law and Ethan Wilson. 5th and 6th on the racetrack. Gutman and Frenchie right behind them. A little bit of a blinking moment there. Some electrical problems for Gutman and his 003 machine. Now you're starting to see Slick Rick fall into the clutches of this second pack here up at the front. Meanwhile, your top 3 over a 5-second advantage. Paul Dillon, Than, Sheldon Fittig still going at it. We'll take a look at the battles once again. Fittig has lost a little bit of ground and fallen back to the 3rd position. Paul Dillon going to move into 2nd. Fittig tried his hand at the race lead a handful of times down there on the inside lane. Now Paul Dillon taking a page out of the book of the 41 machine, looking to lead a lap or 2 here. Went to the front, led a handful of laps, dropped back to 5th. Then these 3 worked their way away from the rest of the field. And here goes Dillon with a shot at the race lead through 1 and 2. Off of turn 2 down the backstretch now on lap number 32, moving in on the halfway point here tonight. It's going to be a fast-paced race here tonight from Gateway. Handful of drivers already having to use those fast fixes. A handful of them already behind the 8 ball. We've got one down there on pit road. Mark Axelson with issues had to come to pit road, had to take the tow truck. And it looks like he's going to lose a little bit more ground here tonight. Unfortunate evening for the debut night for Richard Vanderhave. Not able to get the machine started after some problems were discovered in qualifying. Good run and happy hour there for Vanderhave, but some problems with the engine discovered in qualifying. Was unable to get the machine put back together and get back to the starting grid in time. Unfortunately, that 00 will walk away 13th here tonight. As we mentioned moments ago, Mark Axelson with an off-track moment. Finds himself down there trying to fix up his machine. Frenchie and Andy both involved in that lap 1 incident. They've both been behind the 8 ball ever since. Frenchie trying to get his way back onto the lead lap right now, listed in that lucky dog position, sitting in the 10th spot, Robidoing down on pit lane. We'll see if this is a scheduled stop for the 9 machine halfway through tonight's race. We are on our way down the hill now. Who's going to take the checkered flag when we get to the bottom? 3 drivers have separated themselves. 3 drivers have shown dominant pace here tonight. And again, these 3 drivers, they could get in line. They could, they could just run this thing on out. You know what I mean? They could just fall in line, say, let's log these laps, let's get this thing in the bag and race it out over the course of the final 10 laps or so. But no, they continue to go at it, continue to press the issues, continue to force the drivers in front to drive a little harder as we go on board now with the 41 of Sheldon Fittig. He's going to look to the inside of Than going into turn 3. And he's going to go right to the point. Great pass there, looking just above the head of Sheldon Fittig. Is now Rule Fan going to look to the inside. You'll see the nose come by. There it is. Oh, big run out of the corner for Fittig. Let's jump back out of the car, guys. Let's get a look at this. This is going to be one crazy battle over the course of these final 35 laps. Less than 35 laps now, as we cross the line this time around. Lap number 38 going to go on the board. Oh, big moment there off of turn 2. Rule Than thought that Fittig was going to slide up the racetrack, was looking for the crossover and almost into the gearbox of Fittig. Than very, very close. He's going to maneuver his way back to the point, though, somehow avoid the contact out of turn number 2, and Rule Than going to go right back to the point. We're going to go right back around that 5th position. Ethan Wilson, Slick Rick Gutman, and John Sayre starting to battle for the final positions inside of the top 5. The 6 of Law sitting in that 4th position. And what has happened to Slick Rick was inside your top 4 at one time, and now that 14 machine has lost a little bit of ground there. You can see him working the high side behind the 6 of Law. Looking to the inside goes Ethan Wilson. He'll take the position away while Rule Than and Sheldon Fittig continue to switch and swap the race lead. At the front of the field, Fittig sits in second now with Than on his outside. Doubled up 2 rows deep here tonight from Gateway as these drivers try to battle for position. Steve Law, Ethan Wilson, Gutman, and Slick Rick all going at it right now. 2 very distinct packs, one with 3, one with 4, and the action is in both spots. We're going to head back to the front once again. Race leaders, your top 3, they have been switching positions this entire green flag run, and will any of them head to pit road for fresh tires and fuel before the end of tonight's race? I'm not sure they're going to be able to make it 70 laps. As we work lap 41, we're on the downhill side of things. I wonder when these guys are going to be eyeballing pit lane. Oh, and it looks like we got green flag pit stops. Green flag pit stops underway. Rule Than, Paul Dillon, they're both going to come down pit road this time around. And just as we mentioned, when will we see those green flag pit stops? Well, there they are. 2 out of your top 3 to pit lane. 4th, 5th, 6th. Also going to stay out on the track. Ethan Wilson, Gutman, Slick Rick, Both of those drivers going to head down pit lane. John Sayre going to stay out as well. So an 8.2 second advantage now for Fittig, and it looks like he's going to stay out yet another lap. No, he's going to fool us all. He's going to have a big entry to pit road. Big wiggle on the access road as well. Fittig having to keep the car underneath him. Looks like the 49 of Ethan Wilson, he's going to work his way onto pit lane. That leaves just John Sayre, and John Sayre in the 369 machine will head to pit road this time around. So that's going to be everybody with their green flag pit stop in. So far, nobody popped by the pit road police, so we'll stay green flag racing here from Gateway as we set our sights on the final few laps of tonight's race. Amazing action here tonight from Gateway as these drivers continue this long green flag run. One caution here tonight, and that flew at the very beginning of the program. Lap number 1, dropping of the green flag. We've seen a little bit of a stack up on the inside lane, and a handful of drivers get caught up and involved and behind the 8 ball very early here tonight. We've been green flag racing ever since. Ruth Ann, Sheldon Fittig, Paul Dillon, all going at it for that top spot. And now your top 3 that were all over each other, they've separated themselves not just from the rest of the field, but from each other. Rolf Van now enjoying the biggest race lead of the night. A 1 second advantage for Van with that 1 lap early pit stop. And as we reach 25 to go, what do you say we go ahead and give you some driver highlights and spotlights, run down the field as they run the Sharpsburg, Georgia native Rolf Van in that 60 machine, showing the way front of the field, 1.2 second advantage. Van trying to back up his qualifying effort with a checkered flag as well. And that'll move us right on along in the field. Let's take a look right here at Sheldon Fittig, working his way off of turn number 4. Fittig has been inside of your top 3 all night long. Qualified second, runs in second. Fittig, the 41, sits in a podium position. Less than half a second back, the driver that's made up 3 positions so far here tonight. He's been running inside of your top 3 all night long. Paul Dillon into the 113 machine with a great showing here tonight. And he's all over Fittig, and both of these guys are going to be looking to try to run down Van at the front. Paul Dillon sits in 3rd. Biggest mover of the race and inside of your top 5 now, sitting in that 6 machine. There's Steve Law working his way down the front stretch and across the start-finish line with just 23 laps now remaining. The PPG number 6 of Steve Law sits in 4th. Ethan Wilson going to round out your top 5. Wilson up 2 positions from where he qualified. Good run so far here tonight for that 49, as well as he separated himself from his fellow competitors. Gutman right behind him. Big shout out to Gutman right here. And this 003, he's up 6 positions from where he qualified, so running very well here tonight. Started in 12th, almost shotgun Sally, tail end of the field. And well, with Vanderhaven not making the starting grid, you might as well just go ahead and say Gutman was last at the start of the race, now sitting in thick of a great run up through the field here tonight for Gutman as well. And that's gonna do it. That's gonna be it for your driver highlights and spotlights. We'll jump back to the front of the field. That's 2nd and 3rd, Dillon and Fittig beginning to reel back in. Rolf and that race lead now only a half a second advantage for Fan as Dillon and Fittig begin to close in. Small bit of house cleaning. It's going to be quick and orderly, just like this. 13 drivers took to the racetrack here tonight. Unfortunately, only 12 of them able to make the start, and we've got less on the lead lap now. Looks like Mark Axelson still trying to fix up his machine. He's going to be multiple laps down. Andy 2 laps down in that 34 machine. Slick Rick back to pit road once again. So the 14 had a good go at the start of the race. fell through the field and now has some late race trouble. Slick Rick going to be listed multiple laps down, back in the 10th position. The closest battles on the racetrack are the ones that we are watching right now, coming right through your screens. Off of turn number 4 we go, looking for the point once again. And the Smiley Man helmet. Paul Dillon gonna look to the inside, look to snatch the race lead away, and Dillon gonna do so through the center of 1 and 2. Slide up the racetrack. That's gonna open up the door to the inside. Crossover move by Rule Fan. Back down the front stretch and into turn number 1. Woo, that's close. Coming right at you, right through your living room screen, man. I tell you what, these guys absolutely getting after it. Going down to turn number 3 we go. Race leader, second and third, all over each other, all looking for supremacy here as we work our way off of turn number 4 and back down the front stretch, 2 wide for your race lead. The Fan at the top, Dillon on the bottom, Fiddick right there ready to pick up the pieces. All 3 of these drivers have been race leaders at some point. Oh, big slide through the corner there for Dillon, and he's going to lose some ground here. That's going to allow Sheldon Fiddick to easily take over that second position in his Reloptix.com. Beef Jerky Unlimited number 41 machine. Fan looking for that top spot. Can he get the sponsors in victory lane? He's had a fast machine all night, now looking to the inside once again. Fan, no worries, no problems. He's going to keep it geared up at the top of the racetrack. Position's going to go to Fiddick as he I was going to say as he slides up the racetrack, but thought better of it. He's going to keep it at the bottom and head down into turn 3 with a shot at the pass on the inside lane. Once again, we go side by side down on the bottom of the racetrack. Goes Fiddick. Does he have the run he needs? Not quite yet. Big slipstream now for that 113 of Paul Dillon. Will cross the line with just 15 to go. Almost a complete clean and green race here tonight. Early caution flag going to fly as we drop the green flag coming to the initial start of the race. We've been green flag racing ever since. So while we've got a moment, while we've got an opportunity to watch some great battling here on the track, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy the racing action they provide week in, week out, right here each and every Tuesday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Get your Turn 5 Motorsports fixed. Brought to you by Beef Jerky Unlimited and Reloptix.com. You know you want to if you haven't already. Join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers that love and drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And why we got your attention, go ahead and scroll down. You know you want to hit that description. You can find the link right there, beefjerkyunlimited.com. Get yourself a handful of beef jerky. They make some great stocking stuffers, just saying. I wouldn't be mad if I woke up on Christmas morning and I found Santa Claus stuffed my stocking full of Beef Jerky Unlimited products. You can find some great products over there at beefjerkyunlimited.com. Get yourself 15% off using the Turn 5 discount code. Once again, that's Turn 5, all capital letters, right there on the checkout. So you gotta put the stuff in your cart. You know you want to add to cart at beefjerkyunlimited.com. Paul Dillon going to try his hand at leading a handful of laps here with just 12 laps remaining. Halfway back down the backstretch we go. Rule Fan with a big run into the corner. He's going to have to wash up the racetrack. That's going to open up the inside lane now for Sheldon Fiddick, who's going to move to second. Rule Fan leading the most laps here tonight, but he's going to fall back to third. Big slipstream down the backstretch. That's going to help out the cause. And it looks like Fittig will take the race lead pretty handily here, coming out of turn 3, way up the track, almost into the outside wall. Paul Dillon going to look to the inside. Dillon to the inside with just 10 laps to go. We've got 60 in our bag, 10 more to put there. Who's going to want to take the checkered flag? These three drivers have been going at it all night long. Fittig, Dillon, Fan throwing haymakers, jabs at each other. Who's going to take the TKO, the knockout blow here late in the race? And it looks like Fan a little bit of a struggle on the high side as Sheldon Fittig going to continue to lead the race. And the 113 going to fall behind. He's going to look to regather and rerun his way back to the front of the field. Fan going to take that opportunity to drop down to the bottom of the racetrack. Try to get a run. Not going to pan out into anything here. Woo! Close right there. Oh boy. Big moment at the front of the field. Dillon and Fan almost getting into each other. They almost made contact as Dillon looked to try to cover off the run being generated behind him by that 60 machine of Rule. Fan almost taking the front wing with him. Those two were sorted out as Fittig tried to step it out. Only able to open up the advantage to almost 0.3 of a second, and it's going to immediately be right back down under 0.2 of a second for your race leader. Sheldon Fittig showing the way off of turn number 4. Will cross the line this time around with just 7 laps remaining. But keep your eye out front. We're going to have some lap traffic to deal with before the end of tonight's race. You can see it just out in front of your race leaders as now Dillon drops to the bottom, tries to take back the top spot, not going to prevail. He'll fall in line, use that slipstream as a slingshot. Fan to the bottom. And Sheldon Fittig liking what he sees right now. The longer these guys battle with each other, the better off he's going to be. As we take a look off of the left rear of Fittig, taking a look back at your top 3 drivers on track battle right now for second and third. Dillon going to fall in line as now Fan going to look to try to set his sights and get the slipstream. Trying to work his way back to the point once again here from Gateway. 70 laps was the official race distance as we go on board. Overhead camera shot here with the Reloptix.com Beef Jerky Unlimited, number 41 of Sheldon Fittig, your race leader, with 5 to go here from Gateway. Five to go here from Gateway, and your top 3 will roll the dice right now because we don't know who's going to take what position. They've been swapping spots for about 50 plus laps. These guys have been just absolutely all over each other. We thought maybe the green flag round of pit stops may separate these guys, and it did, but only for a handful of laps. And now we've got just a handful of laps left here tonight from Gateway. Looking back down to the inside goes that 113 of Paul Dillon, looking for his first race win of the season. Little bit of a wiggle on the bottom. Way up the track goes Fittig. But the high line will prevail. The momentum going to pay off, and Fittig going to beat him to the line. We'll have 3 to go this time by. I think it's going to come down to who wants it the most at the end of tonight's race, because popsicle sticks go on display for race leader Rule. Fan Sheldon Fittig now looking to the bottom, looking to grab that top spot back once again. Who wants it the most between these 3 drivers? Who's willing to put the nose of their USF 2000 machine in a position that maybe they wouldn't normally put it, but with the final few laps right in front of your face, you gotta do what you gotta do. Roll Fan gonna take the top spot, back away this time by Big Run and Slipstream by Fittig. White flag flies, final lap, front of the field, 3-car battle underway for the race win. Down on the inside, trying to make the pass stick, and he's going to do so off of turn number 2. Big Run now on the outside for Roll Fan. Sheldon Fittig on the inside. Than at the back, at the top with Dylan right behind him. Side by side into turn number 3. We're going to have a close finish here tonight at Gateway. Off of turn 4 for the final time, and Roll Fan going to cross the line first with Sheldon Fittig and Paul Dillon close behind him. How about this, race fans? How about this? Less than a tenth of a second separated your top 3 drivers here tonight. Roll Fan gonna do what he's gotta do and get the job done late in the going. Congratulations to your podium drivers, and how about the man inside of that 60 machine looking good here tonight? I tell you what, Roll Fan with a great race and a great run, and he's going to park it in victory lane. He's going to come around, give the fans in the stands on the front stretch a little bit of a smoke show and a photo opportunity of a beautiful open wheel machine here tonight. Capturing the flag is Roll Fan. And well, with that being said, race fans, we're going to take ourselves a quick commercial break, get set for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's race right here from Gateway. 70 laps of action-packed open wheel racing here with the Turn 5 Motorsports drivers, and we're going to jump right on into it. Prior obligations scheduled here tonight for the band that walked away third on the podium. Paul Dillon with a great run and a great showing here tonight from Gateway, but Dillon will fall short and finish in third, and that will move us right along. We're going to see if we can now grab a word or two with the band that walked away second here tonight, battled for that race win all night long. Sheldon, it's Dave. Man, you gotta be sweaty.
I am a sweaty mess sitting here, that's for sure.
Well, man, great racing action between you and your fellow competitors at the front of the field. A little bit of trouble on that initial start. Could you give us a little insight on that? What happened, how it went down, and how were you guys able to run it clean and green from there on out?
So what happened here was a bunch of us not used to running this car, and a lot of us made a mistake at how fast first gear revs out, and people missing shifts, and it stacked the field up, and we had an accordion. Unfortunately, that was probably mostly my fault because I was on the rev limiter for about a half a second before I changed gears, and that was enough to just start the chain reaction. So that was my bad for all the folks that got messed up behind me.
Yeah, a little bit of a stack up in these machines, and things happen quick in these open wheel cars, and a little bit of contact can end up in a lot of bit of damage. But fortunately enough for you, you were able to dodge a bullet there at the beginning of tonight's race. But I want to talk to you a little bit about moving forward from here on out. 7 races into the season. We've had 7 different race winners, but we're going to head back to some dirt tracking here. We're going to head back into the Pro 4 machines coming up next week, and then back to a rally course once again. How are you feeling about these next 2 races?
So I'm feeling pretty good. I've finished second in both of the dirt road cars in the races so far this season. So I've been working hard on getting some practice in. We go to my home for Pro 4 track next week at Crandon. I have, luckily for me, quite a few laps there. And my coach Shane Donnelly has showed me a lot of tips and tricks there. So I think he's going to be gone next week, so I might not even have to beat the teacher next week. Hopefully that works out for me.
Well, it's always good when the student becomes the teacher, especially when the teacher ain't in class. No, I'm just kidding, my man. Sheldon, again, congratulations on a great opening half of the season. We've got a lot of great racing left to be had. Yet another podium appearance for you and your 41 crew. So before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Absolutely. First, Rule and Paul, that was an absolute blast tonight, swapping the lead side by side. I had a heck of a fun time here tonight. Dave, for you doing the broadcast, we love what you do. We appreciate you being here for us. Reloptix, I'm going to say it like usual. If you don't know what Reloptix are, you have a VR headset of any kind. Doesn't need to be for iRacing or whatever. And you wear glasses, check them out. They make lens inserts, so you don't have to wear your glasses in it. It is the best thing you can do if you're in my situation. I have to wear glasses, and I need them for my VR. Go get them. And, of course, Beef Jerky Unlimited. If you haven't had their beef jerky, you need to. It's fantastic. Head over to beefjerkyunlimited.com. Use our promo code TURN5 in all caps. Get yourself, 15% off on your next order. Go get some. They're fantastic. I appreciate them for supporting us and what we do here at Turn 5 Motorsports. And I look forward to basically the second half of the season minus our, all-star race. We're 7 down. We got, I guess we have 8 points races to go, and then a fun race. We haven't quite figured out what we're doing for the all-star race yet, but there's been some discussions of maybe the figure 8 at Irwindale with some jumps and some Pro 4s, or maybe we'll take the Pro 4s to maybe a road course. I don't know. We'll figure it out in the next week or so, and then we'll know what we're gonna do for our All-Star race. But I've talked a lot. Thank you everybody for watching and hanging out, and all their sponsors and broadcasters and everything that's going on. Thank you very much.
Well, we do appreciate all the kind words. I know all the sponsors appreciate it there, Sheldon. I know your fellow competitors will appreciate the shout out as well. So until next week, my man, stay safe, keep it fast, and we'll see if we can't talk again. All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from Sheldon Fiddick, as he mentioned a lot of great upcoming racing still left to be had here with the Turn 5 Motorsports drivers. And, man, if tonight is any indication, you better make sure you got your popcorn bowls filled up, because there's going to be some crazy good racing action over the course of the next handful of weeks. Sheldon Fiddick walks away in second, and that will move us right along to the man that is no longer the bridesmaid. He's finally going to marry this thing off and walk away with the checkered flag here tonight. Roll, it's Dave. How you feeling after that race-winning performance?
Honestly, I'm exhausted. That was crazy.
Exhausted, man. You ain't got one of them fancy little water feeder thingamajiggers.
Dude, I got fans blowing on me and everything. Man, it's just so intense.
Yeah, great racing action up there between you top three all night long. You were switching positions 2 to 3 times on a lap. Were you surprised after the round of green flag pit stops that there wasn't a bigger gap that was generated from that little bit of an undercut? You came to pit road just 1 lap prior to the guys right behind you that you were racing with, but were you any surprised at the undercut, even though it was just 1 lap? Were you surprised that it wasn't a little bit bigger?
I didn't know what to expect because don't race in this car a lot. I mean, I thought I came out like a second ahead, so I did get a gap. But then Sheldon and Paul got together. They just strapped it right up to me eventually, and there was nothing I could do but just watch them come.
Now, walk us through the mindset you got to have there. You top 3 guys were head and shoulders above the rest of the field. You had a 5 to 6 second gap back to 4th place at one point in time here tonight. What kind of mentality does it take, though, to know that you got a pretty easy night ahead of yourself, but still race so close in these open wheel machines that can be really finicky on the air and pretty, what we'll call, net Cody?
I think a lot of the switching back and forth is almost out of necessity because you got to keep air on your nose. You just can't keep following them. You start pushing so hard through the corners, I was worried I'd start wearing my front.
I don't know where you were, but yeah, you gotta love live TV, right?
I was talking about the arrow was huge. You had to kind of keep your air clean on your nose, so you would end up, undercutting or crossovering her every time, mainly just trying to keep the air on your nose and not be set up going into the next corner where you're right behind them and you would push.
Yeah, the aero pretty big in these open wheel machines. We're gonna switch off to some cars that you're not really gonna have to worry about too much of the aero here over the course of the next 2 weeks. We're gonna revisit the Pro 4 trucks and then back to Rallycross. So the draft is not gonna be so prominent over the next 2 weeks. And how you feeling looking forward into those 2 races? Does this race win give you any confidence moving forward?
No, that's night and day. Yeah, I'll just go into those rally and truck races just trying to survive, to be honest with you. Just hoping people make more mistakes than I do, and I'm going to make a ton. It's so hard, different for me. I didn't make the truck race. I was out of town, but the rally, I was, just doing whatever I could. It's crazy.
All right. Well, Roll, again, congratulations on the first checkered flag of the season, becoming the season's 7th different winner here with us. So congratulations in putting your name into the winner column. And before we let you go and celebrate this race win, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at your shop?
Yeah, we'd like to thank Beef Jerky Unlimited, Reloptix, and Creature Comforts Brewing Company. They don't really pay me nothing, but they got good beer, and that's what's on my car. And Turn 5 Motorsports and Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you, Dave.
All right, well, roll again. Congratulations, man, and we'll see if we can't catch up with you next week, trackside.
All right, thanks, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from your race winner. Rule Fan going to take the checkered flag for the first time this season. And I do want to give a little bit of a shout out, if I can, of my own, a little bit of an apology. We've seen Shane trying to tap in to us, trying to get with us to see if he couldn't get up here and call some of the great racing action with us here tonight. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that connected and get that worked out, so we do apologize to you, Shane. And later on this season, if you find yourself in a position where you want to jump in the booth, by all means necessary, the door is going to be open. Just give us a little knock and we'll let you right on in. So my apologies there to Shane, catching some of the messaging just a little bit late and behind the 8 ball, so that's on me. I apologize, and we'll see if we can't catch up with you in the booth or trackside over the course of the next few weeks. But how about the race-winning performance by the man on screen sitting inside of that 60 machine? Rule Fan walks away as a race winner here from Gateway. And what a night, what a race it was. Great racing action all night long. Top three going at it back and forth all night long. And as you hear the familiar sounds in the background, producers hitting those buttons, so you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results right here on the Reloptix.com. Beef Jerky Unlimited Turn 5 Motorsports open wheel race at Gateway. Rule Fan gonna take the checkered flag of the top spot here tonight. Sheldon Fiddick in a close second position. Paul Dillon in that 113 machine, he was quick as well. Great night here tonight for Dillon. He'll walk away in third. Ethan Wilson in the 49 machine will come home fourth, with the 6 of Steve Law right behind him. Rounding out your top 5. 6 tonight belongs to that 003 of Gutman, with John Sayre behind him in 7th. Frenchie gonna round out his night here tonight in the 46 machine, back in the 8th spot. Robert Doing and the 9 machine gonna walk away in 9th. Finishing out your top 10 here tonight from Gateway, the 34 of Andy Slick Rick, sliding through the field in late race trouble. He'll finish 22 laps down, back in 11th. Mark Axelson also some trouble here tonight in his 76 machine. He'll finish out his race from Gateway back in 12th. Final man in the finishing order, and Richard Vanderhave had trouble getting the engine fired up and out there to the starting grid here tonight, so Richard will walk away in the final spot here tonight, back in 13th. And that's pretty much going to do it for us. We're going to begin to cut off the lights, roll up the cords, and head off to Crandon to get set up for a great Pro 4 truck race coming at you next week. We'll have heat racing action for you, so a lot of great racing coming up in the course of the next few weeks. Keep it marked on your calendars, or better yet, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 3,000. Show these drivers that love and drop the thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. You get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Stop by BeefJerkyUnlimited.com. Get yourself 15% off with the Turn 5 discount code. And with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.